put the heading future method. First one, future method, put the heading future method. For asynchronous apex also, I will give the definition. That will be easy. Write down this definition. Asynchronous apex is used to run processes in a separate thread at a later time. Asynchronous process is a process that executes a task in the background without the user having to wait for the task to finish. Okay, write down these 2 points. Under asynchronous apex, write down these 2 points. Asynchronous apex is used to run the processes in a separate thread at a later time. Okay, asynchronous apex definition, write down these 2 points. Asynchronous apex is used to run processes in a separate thread at a later time. And then after that, write down the second point. Asynchronous process is a process that executes a task in the background without the user having to wait for the task to finish. Okay. See, for example, if you go to Google, if you type this one and if you click on search, then what you will do, you will wait for the result. But here, you will not wait for the result. It will happen whenever it feels like, okay? You don't need to wait. So such kind of things we will execute through asynchronous, okay? We cannot guarantee when it will complete. It will complete, but we cannot guarantee how much time it will take and when it will gets completed. Okay, so such kind of things we will put in asynchronous. Once if you put it in asynchronous, it means it will execute on its convenience. Whenever system resources are available, then it will execute. It may be after 1 second or it may be after 1 minute or 10 seconds, like that. It is random. You cannot tell how much time it will take, when it will start. So you will give the starting point, okay? But at that starting point itself, it will start or not, we cannot guarantee. few minutes before or few minutes after only, not before, it will execute. Because even in asynchronous we have schedule apex. Exactly, I am saying that every Sunday morning 5 a.m. it may execute, it may not execute at 5 a.m. It may execute at 5:1 or 5:2 also. It tries to execute at 5, but at that time system resources are not available. Then it will wait for 1 or 2 minutes and then it will execute. So exactly at 5 it may not execute, but after few seconds or minutes it will execute. It means if you put it at 5, it will not execute at 6. It will execute at 5 only, but a few minutes, 1 or 2 minutes delay it may happen. So that is future typing asynchronous. Write down this. What is future method? Okay. So you kept the heading as future method. Under that, write down. If future method runs asynchronously, you can call a future method for executing long running operations. These 3 points we will write. First put the heading future method. Okay. Okay. We use, write down. Okay. First put the heading only future method. Under that, write down. We use future method in the following scenarios. We use future method in the following scenarios. Just put that one. In that first point, the ABC, like that you put. Okay. In that we write down. We use future method for executing long running operations, for executing long running operations, or methods with complex business logic, or methods with complex business logic which may take a lot of time to execute. Which may take lot of time to execute. Okay. Why? Because see, CPU timeout is there. Okay. So for our execution, for everything we have governor limits. Okay. So how much time it should take for a single transaction? Okay. So maximum the CPU timeout limit, there is one time. Okay, I will show you the exact numbers also. So in asynchronous the limits are different, in synchronous the limits are different. Okay, see, total number of SQL queries issued in Salesforce, DML governor limits 150. This one is SOSL, SOQL. Okay, SOQL 100. Records, SOQL queries, 100 queries you can write. And records, maximum how many records you can fetch? 50,000 records you can fetch. See all these. See here, governor limits for asynchronous transactions is separate. So here we have, see, maximum cumulative time for all callouts 120 seconds. This one, this is maximum CPU timeout in Salesforce servers is 10,000 milliseconds normally, but for asynchronous 60,000 milliseconds. And again this 60,000 it is going in a separate thread. You are getting my point? If you use two asynchronous jobs, then again you will get 60,000 plus 60,000. Okay, then what happens? Still the time limit increases. So if you have complex business processes which will take more time to execute, you know that whenever you are executing it is taking more time and you are getting CPU timeout exception. Then that particular code you will put in one method and that method you execute in future. You can convert a normal method into a future method just by putting at the rate future in front of it. That's it. If you put at the rate future in front of it, it will become future method. It means what? Normal method will execute now. If you are clicking now, it will execute now. Future method, it will execute after a fraction of seconds. After 1 or 2 seconds, it will execute. It will execute as a separate thread. Okay, so now you got the basic idea what is future method, right? So now take the next point, the second point. Write down B. Second point. We use future method. Second point, write down B. We use future method. We use future method to avoid mixed DML exception. To avoid mixed DML exception, we use future method to avoid mixed DML exception. It means if you use future method, you will not get this error. If you don't use future method, you may get this error. Okay. Next, once that is done, next line put mixed DML exception. So you need to understand what is that error, right? Write down that side heading mixed DML exception. Put the side heading mixed DML exception. In that, write down whenever we try to perform DML operation on a setup object as well as non-setup object within a single transaction, then it will cause mixed DML exception. Next point, put the side heading setup object. Put the side heading setup object. Right now, the object on which the objects, right, plural, the objects on which a DML operation, the objects on which a DML operation will impact the overall settings of the org. Overall settings of the org. Such kind of objects are known as setup objects. Such kind of objects are known as setup objects. Under that, write down example user, comma, profile, comma, permission set. User, comma, profile, comma, permission set, etc. Done? profile, comma, permission set, etc. Done. Next side heading, put non-setup object. Non-setup object. Write down. Whether it is a standard object, whether it is a standard object or custom object, if whether it is a standard object or custom object, comma, if a DML operation, if a DML operation on this object, if a DML operation on this object is not impacting, is not impacting any existing settings of the org, is not impacting any existing settings of the org, then such type of objects are known as non-setup objects. Then such type of objects are known as, then such type of objects are known as non-setup objects. Okay, non-setup objects. Example, write down account, comma, contact, comma, opportunity, comma, position, underscore underscore C, comma, candidate underscore underscore C. So it means I am both standard objects also, custom objects also as examples. Okay. So now you understood what is mixed DML exception and how we are able to eliminate that error using future method. Okay. Next point, write down. Put the third point. We use future method to perform. Write down. Third point. We use future method. We use future method to perform callouts, to perform callouts to external systems, to perform callouts to external systems. Example, from Salesforce to SAP. Example, from Salesforce to SAP. To perform call out to external system. Perform call out to external system. Example, Salesforce to SAP. Okay, that is example. You can give any example. Other system can be anything. It can be Java, it can be .NET, it can be anything. See, what I am doing here, this public class name, you know, right? How to write a class, public class name, bracket open, bracket close. Inside that, public void method 1 and here method. This is a future method. How it became future method? Because first of all, before the method, I am writing at the rate future. That is first point. Second thing, for normal methods, this is instance method. Normal method, I have already explained you what is the difference between a normal instance method and a static method. Normal method, how you will call this? If you want to execute this method, what I will do? If I want to execute this method, what I will do? Tell me. If I want to execute this method, what I need to do? First, class name, okay, object name equal to new class name. After that, object name dot method name. This is how we execute normal instance methods. Okay, this is how we execute normal instance methods. Okay, let me execute this. Now what will happen? I am inside normal method. That is the output we are going to get. See, click on debug only. I am inside the normal method. I am getting. But if it is a static method, okay, even if it is a normal method and if it is a static method, forget about future. If static is there, then how to call the static methods? For static method, you no need to create the object. We discussed this already. Directly what we will do for static method, class name dot method name directly. Instead of creating the object directly, class name dot method name we will give for static methods. Okay. Okay. Now here what I am doing? Here I am I want to use future method. So whenever you are using future method, so then we will use a static keyword, because see, instance means what? Every time when you execute, you are giving some instance. So future method means it will execute in a separate thread. So for that, it will not take instance. So if you want to write a method as a future method, you have to give static. Without giving static, you cannot write the future method. So for, first of all, to understand what is the syntax of future method, this is how we write a normal method. This is clear. Public void method name, and inside the code we will write. This is normal method. If you want to write a future method, 3 points you need to remember. First point, put at the rate future. First point. Second point, use the keyword static. Third point, inside this, if you don't give any parameter, no problem. But if you want to give any parameter, give any primitive data types as parameters, like integer, string, id, all these types you can give. But you cannot give s object as parameter. These 3 points you need to remember. Okay. Whenever you write a future method, this is the syntax. Write down. Write down the syntax. So put the heading syntax. You put arrow mark and mention. Okay. 1, 2, 3 like that points. Here what you will put? Inside that what you will put? Okay. Only primitive data types. Okay. Write only this part. Okay. Then we will write the code and execute. Put heading as syntax and write only this one. After you write this, we will see how execution will work, how differently it will work. Okay. Done. Completed writing this syntax. Okay. I'm removing this then. Okay. Syntax is done now. Okay. Can I remove? Okay. Fine. So now to execute this future method, class name dot method name I said, right? So let me execute. What will happen? Let's see. See, it will, okay, now tell me, first this one I have written, second this one I have written. First, which one will execute? Uh, hmm, fine. So I will execute again so that I will first clear all the logs so that only new logs will come so that it will be clear for you. Okay. See, logs, everything clear. Okay. Future method, normal method, both I have given in my code. Let me execute in the in the anonymous window. Normal method I have given like this. For future method I have given like this. Okay. Let me click on execute. If I click on execute, then what is happening? See, two transactions are happening. One is future, one is normal. Okay. Normal one, if I click on debug only, I am inside normal method. For future, separate. It is coming in a separate transaction. It is, yeah, I am in future method. So both are executing separately. Getting my point? Normally, in a single transaction only you will get. Even if you have 10 methods, everything will come in a single transaction. But here, it is executing separately. So this is what we need to understand. So take down this example and these three lines also you need to take. Okay, write down. Okay, so now the task for you is I have written one future method, one normal method. I have written one future method, one normal method. Now you try an example on your own. Two future methods, two normal methods. Okay, do it, execute it, and tell me. Guys, have you executed? I want a class with two future methods, two normal methods, and then execute. So if you execute total, how many transactions will come? Two future methods, two different transactions, two normal methods into one transaction. So total three transactions will come. Got? Okay. Please confirm online, guys. Then I will go to the next example. Done? Okay. So now, as I said, we use future method for mixed DML exception, for resolving mixed DML exception. Okay. So mixed DML exception example we will see. So here what I am trying to do is basically I want to insert a user. Okay. I want to insert a user also. I want to insert a account also. Okay. I want to insert a user also. I want to insert a account also. So account is what? Account is what? Static object or non-static object? Tell me, account is a static object or non-static object? Sorry, non-setup. Setup object or non-setup object? Account. Non-setup object. User is a setup object. So if I am trying to perform inserting user also and inserting account also within a single transaction, then I will get error. Okay. So first let me show you the error, then we will use the future and we will resolve the error. Okay. Okay. So now here in method 2, okay, in method 2 itself, I am inserting account and also I am inserting user. Uh, okay. Okay. Now you do one thing. Forget about everything. Only method 2. Let's focus. Let's see what are the problems. Variable does not exist. Okay. 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 Mhm. Yeah, why I am getting this error? User u alias al email alias al. Okay. Last name, mail name, username, view name. Okay, fine. So now you ignore about everything. Okay. Instead of asking you to ignore, I will copy this apex class. Okay. And here fine. So I did not make any change to this existing feature method. As it is, I kept it back. I created a new public class name. Name you can write whatever you want. Public void method name. You can write whatever you want. Inside the method account, I am giving details. Okay. Okay. And this one profile. I am querying the existing standard user profile. I am querying the existing user role. Okay. And then I am creating a new user, all the details I am giving, and insert user. So basically this insert you and insert account insert user I am putting within a single transaction. Okay. Now this is what I am trying to do. Now how to execute this? Tell me how to execute this. Class name, object name equal to new class name. Okay. Now object name dot method name. Okay. Normally it will execute, but here you will get a error. What error we will get? Let's see. See, invalid email address. Okay. Okay. Let me save this. Okay. Now let me execute. See, mixed DML operation. Okay. Because setup object, see, it is saying that operation on setup object is not permitted after you have updated a non-setup object or vice versa. User original object account. See, user comma account. Both you are trying to do in a single transaction. So that's why mixed DML exception you are getting. Okay. Run methods, any methods ichkuna. So for example, let me do one thing. This entire thing I will remove. Okay. Here public void method 3 something. Okay. Inside this I will give. Okay. Control S, save. Just let it save. Okay, save. Now method 2, method 3 I am giving separate methods. Okay, clear? If I execute again you will get the same error. It is not different methods. It is single transaction. 10 methods also there. It is considered as one transaction only. Okay. Within a single transaction, if you are trying to do setup and non-setup, then you will get mixed DML exception. Okay. Write down this. Okay. First you do one thing. You kept the mixed DML exception heading, right? Write down this code and this one also, and then I will show you the error message. Write down the complete error message also. Okay. So this is the problem and solution I will show you. Okay. Okay. Fine. First take the example. Okay. This, note down this one. Then we will see how to correct it. Okay. Write down. All of you first you note down this one, then I will show you the error. Okay, you have to note down the error also. Okay, after that we will resolve the error and we will see. Or if time is less, you can take screenshot or photograph. That's better, I think. Take screenshot or photograph quickly. Okay, done. Done. Okay, so now let me execute this. I'm getting the error, right? Take the error also. This photo also you take. Take screenshot or photo of the error. Okay, done. Okay, next. Now how to resolve this? Simply if I write @future and here if I write static. Okay, if I write static, then how to call this method? Then the way we call the method will vary. Yes or no? Class name dot method name. Okay, now if I execute, non-static method cannot be referenced from a static context. Static void method 1. Okay, first we need to save this. I have not saved this. Okay, after saving, it is getting executed without any error. Okay, but here in logs, see two transactions. One is success, another one is future. But this future exception in running, why? Because I am trying to insert a user, but the licenses are not there. That's why I am getting this error. You're getting my point? If you want to insert a user, you should have the license. That license is not there. That's why I'm getting error. But this one, if you see this non-static one, I have not written any, see, insert, just inserting I'm doing. I'm not writing any debug. That's why it is not showing output. But here you can see two logs, yes or no? Okay. Take down this one. Okay. After applying future method, this is how it will work. And this is what you need to write. Okay. These two, you take down these two. Take photograph of these two or screenshot. Okay, so tomorrow we will see this example. Here what I have done is future method can take parameters, right? Here I have given parameters, so with the parameter we will quickly see tomorrow, and then we will move on to the next one, queuable apex. Okay, all of you complete till this point, you practice. Okay, clear? Please take screenshot or photograph. Okay, done. Okay, fine, then we will connect in tomorrow's class and then continue from here. Okay, thank you.